Hello. Apologies for all the uh, being a little bit late and all that, and having a bit of trouble getting the stream up itself. Anyway, welcome to the ALR Season 12 race opener for Tier 6, not Tier 5, Tier 6. Um, Round 1 here is a Deep Forest, and one second, let me mute this. Thought I did that already. So yeah, we're starting with a new season, and everyone's got new cars, and um, I think we have a pretty exciting uh, sprint race coming up here. It'll be 15 minutes, and a feature race following will be 40 minutes. The grid here for the sprint race was set by qualifying, which had Fitzino, as you can see, who's P1, putting in a time of 1 minute 27.588. It's a pretty close qualifying, I'll say that at least. Within, what was it? The top 10 is separated by just under 4 tenths. And then you have this stretch between P3, which is 30, to P6, which is separated by 14 hundredths, which is pretty mental. Only had 2,000 separating Munkin and Clouds, P4 and P5. But we do have Quackhouse in P2. Could actually go down the order now. Turdy in P3. Actually, Quackhouse had a qualifying 27.745, so about tenth and a half behind Fitzino in his RX Vision, and Quackhouse is in the SLS. We have Turdy in P3 with a 27.8 in the Porsche 911. Munkin in the Ford GT 2018, about 1/100th behind Turdy. Clouds in P5 with the SLS. Doomgun in the 650S, followed by his teammate in P7. MIT. I'm not really sure how we're gonna wait. Oh yeah, Emil Doomgun is his name on the Discord, but he goes by Senna in the game. So P7 there, yep. Mitt. I think I was just gonna go with Mitt there. Dimit. Um, Reese in P8 in the Audi R8 Evo, and P9. Oh, I just wrote that down wrong. Would be Name, Schumacher in P10, in the Ford GT, Skittles in the Summaries is what it goes by in GT, the Ford Spec 2. Point is P12 in the M6, Lord Hands P13 in the 911, JP Greenwood in the GTR, and Supercracker with P15 in the R8 Evo. And to finish us off, we have Sonic Concord in the GTR. Yeah, pretty much a pretty close qualifying altogether. But we'll get started with this race. And yeah, best of luck. We have 5 lights, and away we go. And beginning our season, we have a bit of chaos, as it looks like I cannot see who that is. MDMIT had a bit of trouble getting off the line, but we'll have Quackhouse passing Fitzino there right off the bat into turn 1. Fitzino looks like he's having a little bit of trouble. His Cloud's right behind him now, and should be able to get a little bit of space here in a second. It's a pretty tight second sector, so it's very hard to get any sort of passing through there. So most of the passing will be in the first and second sector on the long straights. Samarias has got a half-second penalty. A little bit of a corner cut there. Pop back up. Clockhouse will still lead us. Ficino's gotten a little bit more space as I thought he would get. Claude's in P3, Turdy in P4. So Claude's up from P5 already in the first lap. Ficino's going to go take a bit of an odd line there and almost kind of messes it up, but he gets right back on track. So the field is starting to spread out a little bit already. We'll have a point here right behind Name as we go into the second lap. And it looks like he will get an opportunity, but he'll break a little bit earlier. Name's got the outside line. Point's going to get a little bit of that grass on the inside. And his M6. Actually, these are teammates, actually. So hopefully keep it clean. So we're struggling a little bit. JP is going to get some contact from the rear there from Imdimit. Flop around on that one for a little bit. Check back up front here. Ficino getting a little contact. And that's going to be in turn 7. That's not great. That's better. Name is going to take a shot down the middle and get a little bit of contact there. It's a bit of a dive, and he's going to keep the position actually. Samari is looking for a way to get through the pack here. He's going to take one spot off Imdimit there, and he looks like he's got enough speed to cruise right past JP and put himself in a good position. Oh, and a little bit of a dive there, a little bit of too late braking, and he's going to completely roll back all the progress he's just made, losing the 2 spots that he had gained. Imdimit looks like he's really not having a good time. It's a very tight series of corners here, so going side by side is never ideal, and he is going to drop a load of spots. Schumacher struggling a little bit in the 458. We'll have Turdy here behind Claudes and Ficino, and it looks like he will get enough draft here, probably. Claudes is also getting a draft off Ficino, so this is going to be quite the race to this hairpin going on to the start-finish straight. Looks like we'll keep our positions for now. If Ficino gets a little lucky, as Claudes is playing a little bit of defense to keep Turdy behind. Clockhouse is still rolling completely on his own up front. Turdy is in a little difficult position. It's not a great place to be directly behind the car in front of you, so he's not going to be able to get too much draft into turn 1 on our starboard lap 4. But Turdy does hold currently. Actually, no, he doesn't. Clockhouse does. Clockhouse got the fastest lap last lap 3 there. Trying to make a little move on Samarias, but he bumps him out completely and knocks him completely off track into the wall. It looks like Samarias probably got a little frustrated off that one, which I can't say I blame him, but Imdimit's gonna wait for him, which I think is quite respectful, but Samarias is probably a bit too frustrated to... His tires are gonna be a little bit burnt, as he's also got some front end damage and front wheel damage. Reese is going to have a half-second penalty, which is going to serve here. Just a little bit off the straight. see. That is not a Ferrari. He had a Ferrari last season, actually. Yeah, he did have a Ferrari last season, Schumacher. And he's going to go side by side with Senna going into turn 1 on lap 5. And he's going to take that position pretty nicely. And should be able to hold it as we go into these series of corners here. I need to go back here because Ficino dropped a few spots. It looks like something happened here on turn 1. Bit of space to Clouds behind him. Clouds is dealing with Turdy. Ficino is going to be battling out with Quackhouse, going a little bit side-by-side contact. Quackhouse gets the inner line, and Ficino just hits the throttle way too early, and it's going to drop him 2 spots. As Clouds and Turdy take advantage of the little error, I think, there. Funkin not too far behind either. It's very easy to get out of rhythm in the second sector, which is where they are at the moment. Getting out of rhythm will pretty much screw your time for that sector and make things much more difficult. Yeah, it's just getting into the flow, and once you get into the flow in that second sector, it's pretty smooth riding. But when you have people all around you, it makes it all the more difficult. As a hairpin with a lot of different points can have a half-second penalty, which I guess he got probably too late on the lap before the penalty marker, so. See Emdemit behind Lord Hands here. Yeah, Lord Hands says RIP to half the liveries, and I was wondering what was going on with that because I thought I saw too many default ones. Shame it doesn't always show the user-created ones. Some of them did get through though. Emdemit's did, although his is pretty much the McLaren F1 livery thrown onto the 650S there with some AOR stuff, which I think is clean enough. I know Cracker loves his liveries, so kind of ashamed to see the default one there. This will be JP's GTR, which definitely is his. This is the other McLaren. Point's going to serve as penalty there. We're going to go back a little bit. I think get a little sidetracked. Just a little sidetracked. Cena's got a nice livery as well. The supporter tag. Nameplate on there. With Turdy going right behind Clouds, as Quackhouse has got himself a little bit of a lead yet again. I don't know if it's going to qualify one. Turdy going in side by side on Clouds and taking the inside line a little bit too late. Braking and takes him a little bit wide in the hairpin. Ficino's going to take that spot right off of him. We're missing livery here as well. And for Clouds, I think. Yeah, that's the GT. We have 2 teammates here though. Quackhouse and Clouds. P1 and P2 at the moment. Clouds is doing a lot of defending at the moment for that position, so to see how this turns out. We are. Nope. Oh, I spoke too soon. Clouds hit the throttle a little early and just did not have any traction going through turn 1, and now dropped to P7. So that is horrific for him. Oh, that's very unfortunate. One little mistake and just throws the entire sprint race right off. Monken coming off of a Tier 5 season. So this Tier 6 is added on. We didn't have a Tier 6 for, I think, for about 2 seasons. So this is a new tier for this season from last. And a lot of these guys are from Tier 5 last season, and Monken's one that had not probably the greatest campaign. He was finished the season in P14 with the 650S. So I think he definitely seems to be on a much different trajectory now, fighting for P4, in P4, as you watch Turdy and Ficino ahead of him go side by side into turn 1 on lap 8. So you get into the latter third of this sprint race. Ficino is going to hold second place for now, as Turdy's putting on a very good challenge, really trying to put the pressure on in the second sector. Pretty close there. Cloud's getting a little bit of contact on Cracker. I think he's probably just a little bit faster in this section, and takes a little bit of patience. Back off for now, I think. Ficino's got a bit of a gap now on Turdy. I think he got off on that sharp left-hander pretty nicely. So. Watches. We still have a few more laps to go. I think we're all the same soft tires. Oh, nope, Sonic Concords on mediums. He's going to be the only one on mediums. Everyone else is on softs for now, so there's not usually very much strategy involved in the sprint. It's just kind of a 15 minutes and throw on your softs and hit the track. Parkhouse putting up pretty good times, I'd say. 27.3. Monken with the fastest lap at the moment, which is wild. I think he's pretty happy with that. But I know he's still sniffing out for a podium. Name is putting a bit of contact right on him, as it kind of barge past him a little bit. But Monken will have the slip and have an opportunity here in a few seconds to claim back that 4th spot. I think a very cool looking 4GT. As Monken goes for the late break inside, and it does not pay off for him, so it loses him a good bit of time there. Probably about 2 seconds lost, I think, from that. A little bit too aggressive going in, but it's clear that he has some pace on this track at least. He'll be fighting for a podium. Quackhouse has really got himself a gap now, so I think he's just got to keep it smooth and clean, and it looks like it will be a win for him. I believe. Just gonna check something before I sit. Now, Quackhouse has been in this league for quite a long time, and there it is. This is his 115th ALR race. One of those consistent names you always see around, and I don't think he's had too much success, but he's been getting much better, and this is very much proof of that. He seems to be very much cruising in this SLS. He, as of this moment, does not have a win in ALR, so this would make it his first. We'll have to see if that holds up. I hope it does. Still have Ficino and Turdy fighting for within the last 2 podium positions. little bit of a gap there to Name and Munkin. Just check down the grid. We're pretty spread out now, so Reese is not having a fun day, but hopefully he can turn it around in the future race. This will be our closest battle on track at the moment for P2, and this will be our final lap as well. Probably a little off there. So Clockhouse just needs to finish this lap cleanly, and he will have his first win in ALR. And Turdy there with a very quick Sector 1. Coutinho's looking a little bent out of shape. He's kind of losing his rhythm just a little bit. Looks like Turdy's going to fall a little bit behind Ficino here as we go into the end of this. I think we've got a little bit... Oh, these guys are finished. That's what happened. We'll go through them in just a second as we have our leaders, race leaders, coming to the line on the final straight. Ficino closed the gap there to Clockhouse a little bit, so I think this is going to make for a very interesting feature race. And Clockhouse clocks his first win in ALR. Congratulations. Ficino is going to come in P2, Turdy in P3, Name in P4, Monk in P5. Senna is going to finish P6, Point P7, Schumacher P8, JP finished at P9, Clouds P10, Cracker P11, Emdemit P12, Lord Hands P13, Samurias P14, Sonic Concord P15, and skip again. Take notes on all this stuff, so I need to see who got where. Reese in P16. So we had the fastest lap there by Ficino, and that was on the final lap of the race, so he's going to take that point. I think that was off of Munkin. So Ficino's going to get a little extra, a little bonus point there. And Clockhouse, like I said, his first career win in his 115th ALR race, which is phenomenal. I think he's very, very happy with that result. And we're just going to take a second here while I write down the order. Cannot read it right now. Point. We're almost there, I promise. Definitely missing a person. Oh, no, I'm not. Also, our biggest jumps. So, Clockhouse started qualified P2. Ficino dropped 1. He was pole position. Turdy stayed P3. Name started P9, so he started from P9 and went all the way up to P4. I think that's good. A good race in that M6, which is also the same car I'm driving myself this season. In Tier 5, and Munkin started P4. He dropped 1 position there. Emil P6, the same. Point started P12, so that's up 5 positions for him, which I think he'll be happy with as well. Probably not as good as a qualifying as he had wanted. Maka up 2 positions, Schumacher. JP up 5 positions. Clouds dropped a few there, I think. Where he went? P5, yeah. Started P5 there. Cracker up from P15. Endima dropped from P7. Lord Hands, same position as he started. And Samoria's is... I should know this one. Oh, boy. Anyway, so let us continue with the feature race, and the feature race will have be 40 minutes and a reversed grid from the sprint result. Thank you, Turdy, for posting these. Hopefully, more deliveries load, because as you can see in the blurred picture in the back there, Turdy does have a nice livery, but it's not showing up. And it seems very random when this happens. Cool. I'll just use this. What happened here? Well, Cracker's livery loaded. I think. Oh, we have a bunch of liveries now. Oh, that's brilliant. I don't think we're missing any actually now. Oh. I don't know if that's intentional. So Reese is on softs. For some reason, Cracker's at the back, and I'm not very sure why. Because he finished P10? 9? Something like that. Cracker. Just put a note here. P16. Cracker request to start at the back. That's all I can see on that comment, Lord of Hands. Thank you for letting me know at least. Hopefully it'll pop up on my screen here in a second. So guys, it looks like that was intentional. So real quick, we're just gonna finish doing this. Mediums. Just taking notes on what they're starting with tire-wise. Mediums, mediums, mediums. Softs for point. Schumacher gonna start mediums, mediums, mediums. And then Reese will be the one on softs, so I think everybody else. Only one starting on softs? No, point as well. What's that one? No, did write it down. Anyway, let's get rolling here with our rolling start. And this cam. I don't use this camera as much because it's hard to see sometimes. And we'll start our feature race here with Reese out in front and Sonic right behind him. Reese in his pretty sweet looking Lego livery. It is impossible to see. I don't know how anyone does that. So rolling start gives us a bit of space to breathe, just a little bit, not too much, for the start of the race, and things will close up probably very quickly. Emdemic gets a half-second penalty immediately, start of the race, as Sonic Concord goes into the wall very hard. Samuria's and Lord Hands and Schumacher all go into the wall. As this is a very, very chaotic start to this race. Most guys are on mediums, so there's a little bit less grip there. I think there was only one on the mediums. Cracker is doing some things. So that sends Sonic and clouds to the back as Reese keeps his P1, and Emdemit's going to serve his very quick half-second penalty there. As Marias is going to take that P2 from him. As long as he can nail this hairpin well, it looks like he's going to do that as he's on the inside. Maybe push Emdemit out a little bit, as I think he's being a little cautious on the exit. Lord Hands going on the inside of Emdemit here as we go finish our first lap of this 40-minute feature. What on earth is going on right now? No! What is happening? What just happened? What was that? Oh, Reese. Oh, mate, on the softs too. Well, that's the last thing he needed. He needed fresh air and just, I think he's having some peripheral issues, maybe. Oh, that's so unfortunate to see, as he's just dropping back pretty much every time you look at him. So that'll put Samarias in P1, Lord Hansen P2, and I'm doing P3 despite his turn 1 penalty. Receive Schumacher P4. You start seeing some of the, looks like faster paced guys trying to get through the back here, Turdy especially. Cina's already netted himself a few positions. And Quackhouse right in front of him, so another penalty there for point. As we go into this very tight hairpin, and Samarias will finish lap 2 in P1. Why is this not working? Emdemit goes a bit of a dive and then pops himself right back to the outside of the turn. He's still going to actually net himself that position for the moment. Kind of surprised that worked. I don't think I was really supposed to. Lord Hands is going to give Emdemit a bit of a tap from behind. That's going to knock him a little bit off. And that knocks Schumacher a little bit off rhythm as well, as Lord Hands really is going to take the brunt of that mistake. I love this livery, by the way. I love these like art styles. That's very cool looking. Very unique. Hard to miss. I think we're going to be looking out for Quackhouse quite a bit this season. He's already in P7, which is wild. Starting from P15 because of whoever started in the back. Cracker. We'll see a little bit more strategy in this race. We're only 4.5 minutes into it. The pit stops will be probably from the 15-minute mark to about the 28-minute mark. We'll see how that unravels. Point they're trying to make a move on Francino, and as well as Senna trying to make a... What is that sound? I don't know if anybody heard that. Reese has a 1-second penalty, which is probably a pretty fair bit of corner cutting in the S's there. Turdy's going to be taking a little bit gentle with Monken, which I think is a wise move there. Just needs to keep his race intact. Emdemit's gonna just lose traction there as he hit the throttle way too hard, and he's gonna drop himself from P2 and have to completely turned himself around. Oh, that's devastating, especially this early in a feature race. He's having a lot of trouble getting himself turned around. Sonic Concord with 3 seconds worth of penalties, which is going to send him to the back with Emdement. That'll be in the next lap though, because it looks like he just got that penalty. Point with another half-second penalty. He's just racking up these penalties in this first round so far. He's going to get himself past Senna for the moment. If he can take this position, he might be able to get himself a little bit of space for that penalty not to matter as much. If Vizzino and Quackhouse barreling their way through the order, we're only on lap 5, and they are P4, P5, so I think we might know who our top contenders are so far in the season. But Lord Hands and Schumacher really putting up a good fight, keeping P2 and P3 for the moment. And Samaria's trying to take advantage of this clean air in P1, take care of those tires, and hopefully put himself in a very good position to finish. GT as well. That is amazing. The L plates there, the learner's permit plate that is all over the car. That was class. I love that. That's simple. This is a message, but I don't know if that message really applies right now. If you're currently rolling in P2 and looks like he's going to be able to really see something with that P2 spot for the moment, and Quackhouse is going to go on the inside as he gets that draft off of Lord Hands. And Quackhouse will send it a little bit after the braking zone, initial braking zone. That's going to send Lord Hands on a little bit of switchback, so he's Quackhouse is going to take that position for sure at the moment, I think. Fantino's got himself a half-second penalty. I think he's going to be okay for the moment. That's going to be not too consequential for him. But that will kind of damage his race with Quackhouse just a little. Still have a long way to go. 32 minutes remaining in this round 1 feature race for Tier 6. Vizzino was a reserve last season for Tier 5. He finished P16. He was only in a few races. He was in the Mustang, but I think he's looking for. I think he's got the full-time position, obviously, and he's going to be quite a contender in this tier. With Quackhouse's performance so far, I'm not sure if we'll continue seeing him in Tier 6, but I don't know anything about that. See, he puts in a fastest lap, which is quickly taken back by name. He's got a 28.2 at the moment, and he's gonna try to push it too much against Vizzino and lose traction. We've seen a few guys just trying to go flat out of some heavy braking zones and lose it like that, which is a learning process. You just gotta be very gentle on the throttle and hope for the best. But I think we'll see the racing get better as we go through this season. And Lord Hands is gonna serve his half-second penalty here in a second. Is taking a little bit of a tumble there, I think, but Quackhouse is making his charge on Schumacher as he's already got himself into a podium position, being on those mediums. I think. Look at the tire wear. I don't think the 4GT is very good with tire wear, but he's got basically none. I think he's really maximizing his position at the moment. That clean air, everyone's pushing a little little bit behind him, so yeah, definitely. Well, Turdy looks pretty well on tire wear as well, but I don't think he's where he wants to be, and same with Fitzino. Hands goes a bit wide on turn 1. Fitzino's gonna smell a little blood there and try to go for it. Interesting, the numbers there. If you look at the number plate, that is not the traditional. I like it though. It's clean. Very clean. Take a look here at Quackhouse as he try to take advantage of the slipstream. I think he's gonna be a little bit too far back to make that challenge into the next hairpin. And he's gonna, I think he's gonna regret that just a little bit. I'm not sure if he intended on doing that entirely. I think he just locked up pretty much. Not really locked up, but broke way too late. Bit of a dive. And him and Schumacher are gonna be side by side here as we go into lap 9. A lot of contact. Smacking each other around a little bit. See how we fare here as Schumacher probably gets slightly better line, but Quackhouse is just in front of him, so he's not going to be able to take full speed out of it. And Schumacher's looking much better, I'd say, from last season. He got better slowly through the season, and it definitely seems much more competitive than in the past, which is great to see. It's been a little bit since season 11, and I think a lot of drivers had a good bit of time to improve and kind of clean themselves up a little bit. Learned a lot from last season. Everyone did. Lord Hands will be serving a half second, and that's going to give Senna or Emil P5. But Lord Hands won't be too far behind him. Fitzino's dropped to P11. Oh no. I'm sorry we missed that. What happened there, but somebody's getting a little bit out of shape. Munkin. Reese is gonna take a better exit out of the hairpin than Munkin, and probably put himself in a good position. I think he needs to be taking a little bit more air off him. So I don't know. I'm not sure if he's gonna. Oh, he's braking much later, and yeah, he goes pretty much straight towards the wall. Munkin will keep that P7 for the moment, despite his error previously. And Reese was just getting a little bit carried away there, I think, with the late brake. Not sure what's going on with Fitzino. He's a little bit out of sorts at the moment. Dropped a good few positions there. He was looking for a podium not too long ago. Turdy steady in P4 with Senna Lord Hands not too far behind. A good bit of a gap there to Schumacher. He's lost that position to Quackhouse, who's on a roll at the moment. Hopefully Schumacher doesn't get a penalty off that. Going a little bit wide on the exit of the hairpin. 1.5 seconds, that's just brutal. That's probably too much for that kind of a little error, in my opinion, but I also really hate the penalty system in this game. It's not very fun. Samuri is with a 27.9 on that last lap, so he's going to take the fastest lap for now. And as we said earlier, most of the grid is on mediums, so we'll see much faster lap times coming in after we start pitting. And still might see some early pits in the next lap, but I don't think we'll see that. But it's a possibility. Setup still a little bit behind Turdy's. Turdy's just trying to get the most out of his clean air in front of him and close that gap to Schumacher. Nice and steady on the throttle. Just go through and check tire wear at the moment. Reese is really struggling. There's a cat. He's pretty much lost his right rear tire already. He gets the most points front right is beat to hell. So he started on soft, so he's gonna be in a bit of a different strategy than everybody else for this race. He'll serve that half second on the next lap. My cat's trying to distract me here. We had one other on softs as well. That would be Reese. Funny enough, both of our softs drivers ending up next to each other on the track and in a position that they definitely don't want to be in towards the back, because you need to maximize that soft stint as much as possible. So it's a bit unfortunate there. JP putting some pressure on Francino. Cat is, Lord Hands asks what my cat is doing. He just walked away because I wasn't giving him enough attention. And now he's eating or drinking. Can't sit behind the wall. Just meandering places. His name is Zorro. He's a great cat. He is a great cat. Right, so trying to get my head back on track. Clockhouse and Murray's actually going to come into pit on lap 12, so he's coming off with medium tires. I think that's an interesting early pit there for him. If I was him, I probably would have gone. Lord Hands as well is going to go pit. His tire wear is phenomenal. I'll say that much at least. He's barely anywhere at all, and he's going to be going to softs. I'm assuming. Yeah, it should be softs. So we have our first two drivers come into pit. A lot of weird things are happening with this order at the moment. So Quackhouse is going to take P1 for now. He still has to pit, of course. He's not too far in front of Schumacher here in P2. You can see both of our soft drivers are continuing on, so I think Murray is just pitted way too early there. And Reese coming in with a fastest lap of 27.85, which I should say put him right smack dab in that really tight group in qualifying, and that is not good. That is not good. I was just looking down while that happened at my notes, and Reese flew into the wall. Probably just tried to gun it out a bit early, and he's got to be pitting this lap. As Quackhouse and Turdy come in from the front, pitting off both mediums. And Turdy's going to have a 1 second penalty when he comes back onto his next lap. So both of these drivers are coming on softs. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more guys pitting starting next lap. So Quackhouse only pitting one lap off of who was it? Murias, who was in the lead for pretty much the entire race. I believe the entire race. Turdy's going to come out right behind him. So actually, Turdy has closed the gap pretty significantly there, I think, to Smurias, who was very much off on his own. So good few seconds there cut, but he's also got to serve this 1 second penalty. But Quackhouse does come out. Samiri is going to be behind Quackhouse as he comes out. That's right the first time. And that is not looking good for Samiri. I'm not sure how these soft tires will be with this car, but his tire wear was rather good and comfortable. He should have pushed those mediums a little more because he was on a pretty decent pace. So Emil Senna is going to come into pit off his mediums. He'll be going to softs as well. Schumacher's going to hold out and continue on with a pretty worn set of mediums, so he'll be pitting the next lap or two. And Munkin here is going to be trying to make a move on name, and he's not going to try to brake too late. He's just going to choose to keep bringing the pressure on name and try to break that position eventually. Vicinio back up to fourth, but again he still hasn't pitted. He's just trying to make up for some very unfortunate mistakes. Cost him a huge amount of time earlier. I'm not sure if there was an incident or something. And Spurrier is going to have to be really fighting to get back to Quackhouse here. Quackhouse's pace is just very good. Schumacher being well out in front. I think he's just trying to collect another good lap time before he comes into pit next lap. He's probably feeling pretty comfortable on those tires. Name is going to come into pit off the mediums, and Munkin's going to continue on for another lap. And pretty much everyone's going to be coming in next lap if they haven't pitted already, because they're going to be running out of fuel. JP, Mdemit on his own. We'll start to get an idea of how we're going to end this race in just a lap or two. Once everybody's pitted, we'll have a pretty good idea what's going on here. So Schumacher's got a pit, Munkin's got a pit, Vicinio's got a pit, JP's got a ton of fuel left, so he's got time, but I think he should be pitting here soon as well. Mdemit's got a pit. Quackhouse is going to be the first driver who's pitted who's in front, and I don't think Schumacher's got quite the lead. Schumacher's going to come out pretty close to Quackhouse, I think. Maybe a little bit behind him. Let's see here if he goes in. No, he's going to go for another lap. Maybe? Nope. Nope, pit. Yeah, he didn't have any fuel anyway. So Schumacher in. Your last driver from the lead group to come into pit. Munkin's going to come into pit as well, as he gets pretty shaky off the hairpin. JP, so Vicinio's going to be one of the last ones. JP's also not going to go in. Mdemit's pitting. Quackhouse is going to come through. And I don't think Schumacher is going to get out quite in time to make this happen. So pretty close, but he's just behind him. As we have P6, so he's going to have to fight through some areas entirely to get back up to Quackhouse. But I don't think that's a bad result for Schumacher as it stands. But he's going to be fighting Senna right out of the gate here on lap 17. Looks like he's going to hold the position. Senna is close enough to try to put pressure on for the next 2 straights. See how that works out for him as he is trying to get as much speed off of Schumacher as he can from the draft. Schumacher's going to have the outside here as Senna goes on the inside and is in front. But Schumacher takes the switch back and keeps that position very nicely. Vincino is going to come into pit off his medium tires as he has no more fuel left. Skinsy, Senna, and Schumacher on in one tier. What a time to be alive! And right next to each other and fighting, which is it's weird that I'm saying Senna versus Schumacher right now. Schumacher. Mackers. Thank you for joining, by the way, Skinsy. Good to have you. JP with a 1.5 second penalty, as he is not pitted yet. He's going to be coming in. I think he's going to be wishing he pitted a few laps earlier. As Quackhouse is continuing to storm on in these 2 races and absolutely pretty much dominate. Just in regards of pace. And Smurries is doing quite well today as well, but he, I think, pitted too early off those medium tires. Maybe he knows something I don't. It's a very good chance. I don't know a lot of things. I don't think I've driven the Ford GT more than once. Oops. So Quackhouse will take P1 yet again as he comes into the second half, well into the second half of this race, and JP's finally going to come into pits, and I think that'll be our last driver to come in, and it looks so. I don't know how anybody would get past this lap with any fuel. See where JP comes out. JP's going to drop a good few spots here, I think. It's just starting to fuel up now. Yeah, it's going to put him pretty square in the back, unfortunately. Cracker not having a good day as he opted to start in the back for the feature. I saw part of the message, but I can't see the whole thing. It's gone now. So YouTube is just not my friend today. For some reason, not my friend most days. Because I have a lot of trouble streaming on this for whatever reason. That was the whole message. Cool. Okay. It just had like an ellipses at the end, so I assumed there was a little more, but then I like refreshed the screen and it just wasn't there at all. So I only saw it pop up on the console for a couple of seconds. So Clockhouse going from 15th to 1st will put in another take into the fastest lap with almost 27 flat, which is half a second better than the whole time from qualifying earlier, which is incredible. I think he didn't have any help on that either, because he had nobody to get a slipstream off of. So that was purely him beating his own time by 0.7, which is whack. So good on. Samarias was really pushing hard behind him, so we'll have to see if that tire strategy will work out for him in the end. He pitted quite early on. I think the first or second one in. So Samarias started in P3. Yeah, started at P3, so he's I think had a pretty bad sprint race. He's trying to maximize the comeback here, and he's in a very good position to do so. Turdy's been on fire, I think, pretty much all day. There's a few small errors, and also just to point out, Turdy, you're missing a number, my guy. On both sides or just the one? Yep, both sides. Just put your numbers on. Car looks great, by the way, but just forgot two things. That's okay. So Turdy was also starting quite the back. I think he was P12 or so he's made that comeback so far. And Schumacher was pretty flat in the middle of the grid, and he's had quite a good race. So he's, I think, maybe graduated on from those L plates, which might have been more appropriate last season than it is for this season, because it looks like we're going to have a much different season here with Schumacher. Senna here, P5. He had a pretty good sprint race. He finished P6, so I would have put him P10, I think, with the adjusted order. That's a good climb up for him. Lord Hands with a 1 second penalty. Unfortunately, he's about to serve that as the line comes up right then. And that's not going to cost him anything, I believe. As Fazzino and Namer are fighting behind him. I think we're going to take a look at that real quick, because Fazzino has good control of that situation. Name's going to get a pretty good exit there, though. Lord Hands last season in the Tier 5, finished P15 in the R8 Evo. I think that was a learning season for him. That looks like he's really stepped up this season. P6 is quite good. Trying to get the full results here. Yeah, this would be better than any of Lord Hand's finish from last season. That's going to be a big load of points for him, as P6 does get you all up in the points in future races. So hopefully able to finish this up as we go into 7 minutes 30 seconds left in this race, and probably about 6 laps or so. Maybe 5 laps. I don't want to jinx your Lord Hands. I know Pyro does that to me pretty much every race. I won't say anything else. I got you. Point there, he's dropped behind in this race pretty slowly, but has a half-second penalty at the moment in this M6. Sonic Concord. It's also another Sonic in the league, but Tier 1. It's a Sonic Concord. I believe he's new. I'm not quite sure. I didn't have time to go through everybody before I started this race. I do want to take a look at this livery real quick. I wish I could go a little up closer. It looks like there's a good bit of detail in there. But the outline... Oh, thank you, Lord Hands. Sonic is a new entry. These tunnels make it so hard to get good looks at these cars. I really appreciate the Lego outline of the huge numbers on the side of the car. 00 is very clean. This is a dope livery. Very well done. I think he'll be on a better track for the future races. I just think it was a bad day, bad season starter for Kraka there, and I think he'll have some better luck for hopefully Spa, which is actually today. We have a round 2 today, and hopefully I won't be doing the stream for round 2 next week. Hopefully it'll be in a day or 2. Try to get this done a bit quicker for future rounds. Go back up front here. Samarias, who's currently got the fastest lap, he was just edged out by 400, a little under 400s. He's really pushing to catch up to Quackhouse, and I think Quackhouse is probably just in the zone, trying to take care of those tires. This will be a battle of tire wear going towards the end. Murray's pitted, I think, lap 11 or 12. And apparently that Ford is very good on tire wear, so he's... Jesus. Markhouse pitted. Can't actually see it there, I don't think. I wait for him, lap 14. Quite a big difference there in tire wear. So with Name chasing down Fancino, they've actually been fighting quite a bit. And Name's got a purple sector there, which has been surprising. I think that a little bit of contact is going to knock that fastest lap right away. So I don't think, even with the slipstream, I don't think they're going to be able to compensate for that. These two are just weaving around a little bit, trying to find, trying to play a little defense and a little offense at the same time, and they're just on different pages. And Fancino has done well to come back from, I think, a pretty not fun, like, middle third of the race. Find him in 6th from, I think he was P like 13 or something at one point. P12. I think it's a pretty good drive there. Samaria is right on the back of Quackhouse. We do have a race on our hands for P1. So we're taking it very easy on this hairpin. And Samaria is going to go a little bit off track there. I don't think he should get a penalty for that. Samaria is actually going to take P1 from Quackhouse, coming on to the back straight, or the start-finish straight, and also clock in a 26.9 for fastest lap of the race so far, and take that point back. So we do have a battle here for P1, and I think Quackhouse would really love to see a double win today, and that would be absolutely massive for him, as he got his first race win just in the sprint before this. And go back. Eight seasons, and that was his first win on the last sprint, and I think that would be the start of an absolutely huge turnaround for him, getting 2 wins, and also probably get him out of this tier, I think, really quickly. I'm not sure how that works, so I'm saying things that I don't really understand them, but Quackhouse getting right on the back of Samaria's here, as they basically put themselves in a reverse position as they were at this point last lap. Samaria's got a little bit in front, but he tried to cut in, I think, a little bit too quick. Quackhouse didn't have too much space there to keep going on the left side in. So he was sticking to the left already. Yeah, Samaria's just, I don't think he realized he was already on the back tire there, and that's going to give Quackhouse P1, essentially. Samaria still has that fastest lap, so he does have that point. And he's going to try to go a little bit on the inside, but I don't think he braked quite early enough there. So we are getting into the last lap of this feature race, I think. These guys might actually have another lap in them. I'm not exactly sure how the time works out. I think it's going to be kind of a tough challenge for Samaria, as Quackhouse looks like in a really good position. Slightly worse tire wear for Quackhouse, but he is holding very steady. Very, very steady in that Mercedes SLS. Good run going through here. Senna and Schumacher still going at it. I think we might have a bit of a trend on our hands. I'm going to be saying a lot of Senna and a lot of Schumacher. A lot more than I did last season, which is so it's a good thing. It's good. That's a good change there. So Quackhouse looks like he's going to take away his second win in ALR in 8 seasons and his 116th race, and he's got 2 wins under his belt already, and that is absolutely massive for him. A lot of turnaround, and he looks very, very comfortable in that SLS. We'll have to see what he brings for us. And what is actually our race today at Spa. It's going to be round 2. Sorry. We're gonna go back here because I did not go through the order. I got a little excited about Quackhouse because that was brilliant. Lord Hands. Wait, one sec. I'll back to that. Wait a second. Samaria's P2, Turdy P3, Senna P4, Schumacher P5, Fitzino P6, Name in P7. Munkin will be P8 with Lord Hands right behind him for P9. JP Greenwood in P10. Reese coming a little bit up for P11 there. Point in P12 with Sonic right behind him. Won't be close enough to quite get that position back. So yeah, Sonic Concord in P13, Mdemit P13, and Crackavelli P15. Samarias has the fastest lap. Lord Hand says, you barely said any names last season. Probably true. I didn't know what I was doing. We're still kind of getting used to the hang of this commentating bit. Chat disconnected. Anyway, as long as the stream didn't disconnect. Yeah, we're gonna try to make this a better season for comms. I still need to finish last season. I still haven't done the last race, that round 8. I don't remember what track it was on, but we'll try to do it this week. I'll try to get done before I get Spa done. This round 2, which is gonna be later, actually raced later today. My computer is not having a great time. So we will have, I'm going to get standings up here in just a second as well, so we can just update that real quick. Nice advantage of doing this later is that I have post-steward standings for anything that did come up during the race. So, so yeah, Quackhouse starting from the back. Fitzino had quite a rough race. He was P2, finished P6. Which honestly is better than I thought he would at certain points during the race. Samaria's started near the front in P3 because he finished towards the back for the sprint race. Just had a rough time there. He'll finish P2. Turdy finished P3 in the first race, and he will also finish P3 in the feature race. Senna goes in P4, and that is Doom Gun. So he had a pretty good race. I think he got P6 in the first one, and he's going to come P4 in the second race. I think that's a very good result for him, considering how he did last season. Same with Schumacher. Absolutely turned it around there with P5. Started in the middle of the grid there. Finished the sprint in P8. Fitzino and he was second in the sprint race. I think he just had a rough time. There was an incident that I did not see, in fairness. That kind of put him back a bit. Name is going to be in P7, and he finished P4 in the sprint race. So I think a bit of a rough go. This one, a bit of learning. So I think we'll see some better results next race from him at Spa. Munkin in P8, and he was in P5 for the sprint. Lord Hands P9. Not as great of a sprint race, but a little bit better result there in the feature for him. I think that's probably one of his best results so far. And I think just keep going up, just keep improving, and we'll start seeing him battling up front here soon. JP Greenwood The P9 in the sprint race, P10 here in the future, Reese P11 here in the future, and he finished last in the sprint race. So he was in pole position for the future. Point finished P7 in sprint, P12 here in the future. Sonic Concord, P15 in the sprint, P13 here. Dimit, P10, I think, in the sprint. P14 in the future. And Cracker Valley just, I'm not sure what happened. There was some things going on there, so I wouldn't take too much from that. Today's results for him, he's a bit better driver than whatever happened today. And to give you the standings real quick before I sign off, Quackhouse will obviously have the lead. He finished both races in first, which is really, really good for him. He's going to have 40 points. P2 is going to be Turdy with 2 P3 finishes at 30 points. Fitzino in P3, P2, P5 with a fastest lap and pole. And he'll actually be tied for P2, with Turdy, so the two Irishmen tied for P2. Skittles in P4 with a pretty mixed day, but a second place in the future will give him a lot of points, and as well as the fastest lap in the future. Summaries as well. So 23 points for him. Name in P5, and he's going to have 22 points, so 1 point back off Summaries there. Schumacher P6 with 21 points, so another point back. So we were pretty close midfield battle there, upper midfield battle. Emil Doomgun, also known as Senna, he will be P7 with 17 points. Munkin P8 with 16 points. JP Greenwood P9 with 8 points is tied with Lord Hans for P9 there. Point in P11. Also with 8 points, so there's a three-way tie. Reese with 5 points for P12. Sonic Concord P13 with 3 points. Dimit P14 with 2 points. Supercracker with 1 point in P15. And to finish off, Clouds in P16 with no points. Oh. Constructors. So yeah, with a very strong go by Quackhouse, we'll have Mercedes SLS team in P1 with 41. Porsche 911 team will be in P2 with 38 points, and with 1 point right behind them in P3 is the Ford GT. So very close battle for the moment there. Thank you for joining. This is Moose, and I appreciate all of you coming in and watching this. This is, I think, a very exciting start to the season. So, thank you, Lord Hands. Appreciate that. Good luck to you as well for today. Good luck to everybody else for your race at Spa today. All the best, and looking forward to watching it when we do the stream in a couple of days. Thank you so much, and see you soon.